Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
This is Jyotsna Tiwari and welcome to today's daily current affairs session where we will discuss each and important point regarding your upcoming exams. Okay guys, so here we will discuss all important current affairs. From that the question will rise in your exam. So don't waste the time, and here is the first news of today's session. But before starting this session, let me change my pen color. Then we will discuss each and everything in details. Okay guys, just give me 1 minute. Let me change my pen color. Okay. So here is the first news of today's session, and the news is that the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer is observed on 16th September. Okay. So here you can see that the International Day, which was celebrated on the International Day of Prevention of the Ozone Layer, which was celebrated on the 16th September. Okay, let's have discuss some important key points regarding this news. So let's have discuss. Here you can see that the day is celebrated to spread awareness among people about the depletion of the ozone layer and to search for the possible solution to preserve it. What is the theme? Now let's have discuss. The theme of the 2020 International Day for Prevention and the Ozone Layer is Ozone for Life, 35 Year of Ozone Layer Protection. This is the theme guys, which is very important for your upcoming exam. So don't forget this theme. You will have to learn it. Okay. Next one is this year make 35 years of the Vienna Convention and 35 year of the Global Ozone Layer Protection as well. The ozone layer shields the earth from the sun's most harmful ultraviolet radiation. What is ozone? Now let's have discuss. Ozone is a form of oxygen with the chemical formula O3. Ozone is a very small part of the atmosphere. Most ozone remains high up in the atmosphere, 10 to 40 kilometers to the Earth's surface. Called to stratosphere, ozone contains about 90% of the atmosphere in this year. This ozone layer absorbs some of the sun's biologically harmful ultraviolet radiation. The ozone layer is a beneficial because it removes pollutions from the atmosphere. What is the history behind it? Let's have discussed history behind this day. On 19th December 1994, the UNGA, abbreviation of United Nations General Assembly, declared 16th September as the International Day for the Protection of the Ozone Layer. So I hope you understand each and everything in details because we have already discussed each and everything in details. Now let's discuss that which type of question will rise in our exam regarding this news. So here is first question which will definitely rise on our exam, and the question is that the International Day for the preservation of the ozone layer is observed on which day? On which date? Then your answer will be 16th September. Second one is on the 16th September, which day was celebrated. Then your answer will be International Day of the Preservation of the Ozone Layer. Okay. What is the aim or object behind to celebrate this day? So here you can see that the day is celebrated to spread awareness. Don't forget it, spread awareness among people who about the depletion to the ozone layer and to search a possible solution to preserve it. Okay. So what is the theme? Theme is guys very important. If you will give any exam, so theme is covered or question will rise from the theme in every exam. Okay, so you can know that how much theme is important for your upcoming exam. Okay, so you will have to learn the theme, and the theme is that ozone for life. Here you can see the theme ozone for life, 35 year of ozone layer protection. This is the theme of this day. This year marks 35 year to Vienna Convention. Don't forget it please. 35 year of the Vienna Convention and the 35 year of a global ozone layer protection as well. Here you can see guys that the ozone is a form of oxygen with the chemical formula O3. There are 10 to 40 kilometers above the Earth's surface. This is this atmosphere is above the Earth's surface, the 10 to 40 kilometer. Okay. Ozone contains is about 90% of the atmosphere in this year. I hope you'll understand each and everything in details. You will have to learn one thing, that is abbreviation of UNGA is United Nations General Assembly, and 19th December 1994 first time the day was celebrated as in 19 December 1994. After that, this day was celebrated on this day will be celebrated on 16th September. Okay, so that's all for this particular news. I hope you'll understand each and everything in details. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment box. So here is the next news of today's session, and the news is that Yoshihide Suga was the elected as the new Prime Minister of Japan. Okay, so here you can see that we talk about Yoshihide Suga, who was recently elected as the new Prime Minister of Japan. So who was the previous Prime Minister, or who was the before the Yoshihide Suga the Prime Minister? Then your answer will be Shinzo Abe. I hope you will understand. You will remember about it. So Yoshihide Suga has been elected as the new Prime Minister of Japan following the resignation of Shinzo Abe. Yoshihide Suga won the contest for the leadership of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party by 377 votes out of 534 votes. Okay. Who is Yoshihide Suga? Let's discuss some key points about him. So here you can see that Yoshihide Suga is the son of strawberry farmer. The governor will be the new head of the Liberal Democratic Party. Suga served as the chief cabinet secretary and Abe's right-hand man, also called the Abe's right-hand man. The 71-year-old will continue his hyper-easy monetary policy strategy of his predecessor Abenomics. Okay, actually you all know, guys, you all have listened about the economics. You all have listened about the particular any theory, any theorem about the economics for any country or for any economical situation. So this is the basically meaning of basically I want to say that Shinzo Abe introduced their own strategy or their own type of policy which has controlled and boost up the economy of Japan. Okay, and the name of that particular strategy is Abenomics. Okay, so I hope now you will understand. So who is Shinzo Abe? Let's discuss. Abe Shinzo's first term as a Prime Minister began in September 2006. In 2007, he resigned due to the health issues. In September 2012, he returned to the top of the Liberal Democratic Party. Prime Minister Abe Shinzo is the longest serving Prime Minister in the history of the constitutional government of Japan. Okay. So you all know that we have already discussed each and everything in details. Now let's discuss that which type of question will rise on your exam regarding this news. Here is first question which will definitely rise on your exam, and the question is that Yoshihide Suga was elected as the new Prime Minister of which country? Then your answer will be Japan. Who is the new Prime Minister of Japan? Then your answer will be Yoshihide Suga. Yoshihide Suga has replaced which Prime Minister, and who's replaced by Yoshihide Suga? Then your answer will be Shinzo Abe. Okay. He is from the Democratic. Here you can see that he is the leadership of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party and got the 377 votes out of the 534 votes. Okay. And here you can see some key points which we have already discussed in details, guys. I hope you will understand each and everything in details. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment box. Here is the next news of today's session, and the news is that the Banking Regulation Amendment Bill 2020 introduced in Parliament recently. Okay. So here basically you can see that the new Banking Regulation Amendment Bill 2020 is based on the first day of the monsoon session of the Parliament. The bill was withdrawn by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman before the COVID-19 epidemic in March 2020. This is a C. Okay. So what is the key points about this particular bill? What is the provisions of the bill? Let's have discuss. The bill would give the Reserve Bank of India powers to restructure cooperative banks. The bill will bring cooperative banks under the umbrella of RBI and will not affect state cooperative laws. According to the bill, with a prior recommendation of RBI, cooperative banks will be able to raise funds through public issues and a private placement of equity, preference, shares and unsecured debenture. Recommended will to empowering RBI for amalgamation of banks by the depositors to remove the cap for withdrawal and to smooth the process of the lending of the bank. In general, the bill purpose to strengthen cooperative banks through RBI to enable access to capital, increase professionalism, improve governance and ensure sound banking. Okay. So I hope you understand each and everything in details. Now let's have discuss that which type of question will rise in your exam regarding this news. So here is first question which will definitely rise in your exam, and the question is that recently which bill, the banking regulation amendment bill 2020 introduced in parliament, we have already discussed. This bill was represented by whom? Then your answer will be finance minister. Who is the finance minister? So your answer will be Nirmala Sitharaman. Okay. What is the main feature about this bill? So here you can see that this bill give the strength to RBI or Reserve Bank of India to power to restructure the whole cooperative banks. Okay. This is the power of this bill. Also, you can see that this bill will bring cooperative banks under the umbrella of RBI and will not affect state cooperative laws. Okay. So I hope you'll understand each and everything in details. Yeah. What is the object behind this bill? So here you can see that enable to access capital, increase professionalism, improve governance and ensure sound banking. Okay. These are the objective of this bill. Now I hope you'll understand each and everything in details, guys. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment box. Some additional news which I want to give you, some additional knowledge which I want to give you. So now you can now listen to me very carefully. If we talk about RBI, here you can see the name of Reserve Bank of India. If we talk about RBI, so RBI was established in 1935. Okay. RBI was established in 1935. Okay. Nationalized in 1949. Nationalized in 1949. RBI was established in the 1935 under the RBI Act 1934. Please remember, under the which act? Under the RBI Act 1934. Okay, 1934. First headquarter of RBI was in Kolkata. Now current RBI's headquarter in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Okay. If we talk about who is the governor, recent governor of RBI, then your answer will be Shaktikant Das. Okay. So I hope you will understand each and everything and all key points. Okay, one more news which I want to give you. One more key points which I want to share with you, that when RBI first was established, when RBI first time established, so there are 5 crore with the 5 crore of the capital. RBI was established with the 5 crore of the capital. Okay. Now each and everything clear. I hope you'll understand. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment box. So here is the next news of today's session, and the news is that Indian US Defense Representative conduct a virtual discussion on defense cooperation. Okay. So here you can see that the India and the US, which two countries? So India and the US defense representatives conduct a virtual discussion on which? So on the defense cooperation. Now let's discuss some key points regarding this news. So here you can see that the 10th Defense Technology and Trade Initiative, this is the abbreviation of DTTI. Okay. Group meeting was held on 15th September 2020. The virtual meeting was chaired by Mr. Rajkumar, Secretary, Ministry of Defense Production, Ministry of Defense from the Indian side, and Ms. Ellen M. Lord, Under Secretary of Defense and Stability, US Department of Defense from the US side. Okay. What is the characteristics behind this cooperation? Now let's have discuss behind this meeting. So now let's have discuss DTTI group meeting are held twice a year. You will have to learn this line. Alternative between India and the US. It was organized through the VTC due to the COVID-19 epidemic, means virtual. This was the virtual conference. The DTTI group aims to be a continuous leadership focus for bilateral defense trade relation. The meaning also aimed to create opportunity for cooperation and co-development of defense equipment. Under DTTI 4 joint working group focused on land, naval, air and aircraft carrier technologies have been established. The main objective of JWG is to promote mutually agreed project within its domain. The co-chairs signed a statement of intent to strengthen dialogue on defense technology cooperation. This will be expanded by detailed planning and the measurable progress on several specific DTTI projects. The SOAP will empower the framework of DTTI and allow both sides a mutual understanding and documentation of how to define and achieve success. Okay, so we have already discussed each and everything in details, which is important for our exam. Now let's have discussed that which type of question will rise on our exam. So here is first question which will definitely rise on our exam, and the question is that recently India and between which two country defense representative conduct a virtual discuss on defense cooperation? Then your answer will be India and US. What is the abbreviation of DTTI? Then your answer will be Defense Technology and Trade Initiative. On which date this meeting was held? Then your answer will be 15th September 2020. Okay. The meeting was held, who represented the India. Then you can here you can see that the virtual meeting was chaired by Mr. Raj Kumar, Secretary Ministry of Defense Production. Okay, and the from the Indian side and the from US side is Miss Ellen M. Lord, Under Secretary of Defense and Stability, US Department of Defense from the US side. Okay. Okay, we have already discussed each and everything in details. Now, if you have any question, then you can ask me in the comment box. Here, let's move on to the next news. And here is the last news of today's session. And the news is that the UAE and Bahrain signed a Abraham Accord to deal with Israel. Actually, this is accord means the agreement. This is the synonym of agreement. Okay. So the UAE and Bahrain signed the Abraham Agreement or Abraham Accord to the deal with the Israel. So here you can see that US President Donald Trump, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Bahrain and UAE Foreign Minister signed the peace deal for the first time in 26 years. The deal is the name of Abraham Agreement. What is the key facts behind this deal? So here you can see it took an Arab country 3 decades ago to recognize Israel. Egypt had signed a peace treaty with Israel for the first time. The Jordan is the second Arab country to make peace with Israel. It took Jordan 15 years. 26 years after Jordan, the UAE signed the peace deal with Israel. So UAE was the third country who signed the peace agreement with Israel. Now Israel and Bahrain have signed a peaceful deal, and this was because the Bahrain was become the fourth country to sign a peace deal agreement with the Israel. Okay. If we talk about what is Arab Peace Initiative, now let's discuss. Under the Trump administration, there is a scope for change regarding the oldest conflict in modern West Asia, as Arab countries are coming forward for a peace deal with Israel. The administration predicts the more countries including Morocco, Sudan and Oman may come to terms with the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain on a future peace deal. What is the stance of India? Now let's discuss. India recognized Israel in 1950. Furthermore, India was the first non-Arab country to recognize the Philistine Liberation Organization, which is sole representative of Philistine. India ended its relation with the Israel and Philistine in 2018, treating both countries independently. Okay. So now we have already discussed each and every point which is important for your upcoming exam. Now let's discuss that which type of question will rise in your exam regarding this news. So here is first question which will definitely rise in your exam, and the question is that the UAE and which country signed the Abraham Accord to deal with Israel? Then your answer will be Bahrain. Okay. Second question will rise in your exam that which two countries signed an Abraham Accord to deal with Israel? Then your answer will be UAE and Bahrain. Okay. The first country which is the first country who signed firstly the MOU or the agreement for the peace with the Israel? Then your answer will be first one is Egypt. Okay, first time Egypt. Second one is Jordan. Third one is okay. Second one is Jordan. Okay, it took the Arab country. Okay. So first one is what? First one is Egypt, then Jordan, then UAE, or now Bahrain. Okay. So first country was the Egypt, second was the Jordan, third was the UAE, and the fourth was the Bahrain. Okay. So these are the four countries which have signed the peace deal or the peace agreement with the Israel. Okay. So here you can see one line. This is very important for your upcoming exam. So here you can see you will have to learn this line that the India recognized Israel in 1950. Okay, and the furthermore India was the first non-Arab country to recognize the Philistine Liberation Organization, which is sole to representative Philistine. India ended the relation in Israel and Philistine in 2018, treating both countries independently. Okay, guys. So I hope you'll understand each and everything in details. That's all for the today's session. I hope you'll understand each and everything in details. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment box. Okay. So guys, here you can see the screenshot of the quiz. So basically I want to say that if you want to give the quizzes on the daily basis, so for that you will have to go to the Google Play Store, download the Entry app now, and don't forget to register your mail ID, register your phone number. After that you can give the quizzes on the daily basis and analyze yourself that where are you standing right now, and according to that you can boost your preparation. Okay. Also you can visit our YouTube channel. For that you will have to go to the YouTube, type the banking 2.0 and subscribe the channel, and don't forget to tap on the bell icon. So guys, thank you very much for cooperate with me. Don't forget to like, comment and share this session as much as you can. You can share this session with your colleague, relative, friends, whomever you are studying right now. Also you can share this session with your also you can share this session on your social media platform like your Facebook group, your WhatsApp group, your Telegram group, wherever you are available. You can share this session on that platform. Okay. So thank you very much for cooperate with me. Don't forget to like, comment and share this session as much as you can. Thank you so much for cooperate with me. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.